It's transfer special time again, and word of warning, if you were one of the people who thought I overspent on players and wasted loads of money last time, you may as well start drafting your angry comments right now. Hello and welcome to part 27 of the Milan mission. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we've got some transfers and stuff. Have a look on the screen now, you'll probably see a few spoilers for it. We're also going to play Roma in Serie A. We've already played a couple of games. As you can see, we drew with Livorno and had a 2-0 win over Palermo. Right, before we get into this, I know a lot of you think I maybe overspent a little bit last time round. Lots of Kurt Zuma comments. £68 million, a lot of money for Kurt Zuma. You lot ain't seen nothing yet. Right, my transfer policy. We've got to get this out of the way now, just to try and curb some of the comments. I try and play this game as realistically as possible. I don't care what someone's real life potential is, real life ability is. All I care about is what my scouts tell me about them. So if my scouts tell me they're going to improve my squad, or my scouts tell me they're going to be awesome, then I'm interested in buying them. If I can find a player who is good enough to play in my team already, has the potential to get loads better, is young enough to have the time to get there, and is available, bearing in mind we're not a Champions League club, we can't be that picky, then I'm probably going to try and buy that player. This summer, we pretty much bought every single player who fit that criteria. It was slim pickings because we're not a Champions League club. A lot of our squad wanted to leave because we didn't qualify for the Champions League. We've managed to keep hold of the ones we wanted to keep hold of, and I think we've brought in a whole load of players to improve our squad. And I know full well we've overspent on one or two of them. Let's play Spot the Players Kev overspent on. But, you know, they'll end up being good, so who cares? We had the money. So, firstly, the outs. I know you're all looking at the ins straight away, but the outs, there's quite a few players who's left. We've brought in £40 million this summer, so it's time to say goodbye to Andrea Poli, Ignazio Abate, Mehmet Topal, Vergara, I don't even remember him, Suso, I can't believe we got over £4 million, and he went to Fiorentina of all places. Everton went to Mönchengladbach. Luis Adriano also went to Fiorentina. And then just recently we've sold Carlos Bacca to Chelsea, seriously cut price, but he wanted to go and dug his heels in. And Niang has gone to Schalke. I still haven't forgiven him for the penalty miss. And as you'll see, we've brought in a heap of players who can play in his position. So neither of them would have got close to the team if they'd have stayed. So we were just cashing in towards the end of the transfer window after we'd done our other business with those two. So players coming in. Firstly, we already knew this guy was coming. I may have mentioned him once or twice, but we are now the proud owners of Gabriel Barbosa, 22-year-old Brazilian with 2 goals in 2 caps. He's got 3-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. He's been at Spurs for the last 3 years. He's a bit special. He can play up front, on either wing. He will play in any and all of those positions for us. And he's already got a goal in, I think it was in his second game for us when we won last week. So he's in. Bargain. Not so much of a bargain. Luan. Who's another Brazilian who's reasonably young, 25 years old, has 3 Brazil caps, can play up front or anywhere across the midfield attacking 3. We signed him because he was man of the match in the Champions League final for Liverpool when they won the Champions League. That's right, they won the Champions League. My scouts also said he was 4-star current ability. Turns out, not so much. We've spent a lot of money on him, and he's probably the biggest dud we've signed, £35.5 million. I mean, he might turn out to be great, but with the other players we've brought in, I'm not sure he's going to be the first choice in any position. But, you know, he's a Champions League winner. He's going to get plenty of game time, so he's not all bad, is he? This guy, Thomas Lemar, comes in from Monaco, 22-year-old French international. 2 goals in 9 caps, cost us over £50 million. There you go, £51 million to bring him in from Monaco. Look at all the positions he can play in, though. Look at them all. He can play everywhere apart from centre-back, right-back and in goal. He's going to play almost all of his games in behind the striker for us. But, you know, he's just a massive talent. 4-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. He's going to be a proper world superstar, and he's made his debut and got man of the match in that game as well. So, pretty decent start to life at the club for Thomas Lemar. Gonçalo Guedes comes in from Benfica, £43 million. 21-year-old Portuguese international, 3 goals and 7 caps. Wasn't even going to sign him until we saw him late on, and I thought, well, we've already brought Luan to play there, but this guy looks better, so let's bring him in as well. Why not? We can sell Niang. So he's got 4-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, can play on either wing, can play up front. He's played a couple of games for us, hasn't been spectacular yet, but he's going to get better, and he's young, and that's awesome. And I mean, I'm just having fun at this point. We spent over £200 million this summer. We brought in a young player, a young defender. I wasn't even involved in that. Never met him. Marcus Rashford joined the club for £56 million from Manchester United, 20 years old, only 2.5-star current ability, but 5-star potential ability. He has got 2 goals in 5 caps for England, although he's never actually played for Manchester United. He's been out on loan at Wigan, Sheffield Wednesday and Celtic, scores goals wherever he goes, and he's already scored a goal for us from the bench. We've bought him for his potential more. I don't expect him to start many games, but we've still got Karim Benzema as probably one of our leading strikers. As he starts to phase out, Rashford can just pop back in and play in either of the positions Benzema can play, but also offer more strength and depth out wide as well. That's right, we're playing with wingers, everybody. You might have guessed by these signings. And then we brought in another couple of youngsters as well that we don't need to worry about. This guy, Jordan Miller, came in from Celtic, another young centre-back, 17 years old. And Roy Verkruijs comes in from Club Brugge. He's a left-back. He's also young. And again, all 3 of those, my director of football did without even telling me. I don't mind. They look like they'll be quite good. I'll let him off. So, with all the new players and all the new wingers we've brought in, obviously that means it's time for tactical change time, and this is what we're going to be doing. We're committing to this. We've spent £220 million committing to this system, because pretty much everyone we've brought in has been brought in with this system in mind. So if we go back to the Diamond, we wasted an awful lot of money over the summer. So this is the team that we're going to be playing today. It's very, very similar to the Man City system that we used back in the last save. And we've tried it from time to time with Milan. I think we used it towards the end of last season, didn't we? I don't even remember now. It's about 4 days since I last played it in real life. Got a little bit behind on getting ahead. Never mind, eh? So this is the team that we're going to be playing today against Roma. So Timo Horn's going to be in goal. The Irish international, I think he is anyway, I assume he is. And then a back 4 of George, Romagnoli, Zuma and Makey. That is a Champions League back 4 and goalkeeper, everybody. I don't care who you are, you would pick those players. Bazoa and Mauri in midfield. It's a Champions League midfield. We've got such a good squad of players now. In behind Benzema, who's probably the weak link in the squad, but we've got lots of young players coming through to fight him for that starting spot. We have Gonçalo Guedes as a winger on the left. We've got Gabriel Barbosa as an inside forward on the right. And we've got Lamar as a playmaker in behind Benzema himself. On the bench, we have Wonder Kids Ahoy. We've got Danilo, Luan, Champions League winner, man of the match. Big Gomez, Little Gomez, Bonaventura, Rashford, Ceballos, Ayoze, Camacho, Bertolacci. Donnarumma can't even get on the bench because he's injured, but that's beside the point. We've got a great squad. We need to win the league this season. It's the start of season 4. If we don't win it this time, we are just never going to win it. I don't know if I could bring myself to do a 5th season of failure. So it's kind of now or never for winning the league. And we're never really going to have a better opportunity because we've not got the Champions League to distract us. We've only got the Europa League. No one really cares. We can play the reserves in that, and looking at the quality of that bench, we can probably play the reserves in it and still get to the quarterfinals if need be. So we just need to full-on focus on winning the league, which is why that first day of the season, only scraping a draw towards the end against Livorno wasn't ideal, but we looked better in the last game. And hopefully we'll look spectacular in this game once we get up and running. We are a little bit hit and miss, like we were towards the end of last season, with the fluid movement and expressive and roaming from positions and all that stuff. With it all on at the same time, even in the pre-season friendlies, we're a little hit and miss because we've got a lot of young players, but they're very talented. They're not massively consistent, but when they do something special, it's proper special. And it is fun to watch, and it is an exciting system. There'll be days where we don't do very well. Like now, we're 35 minutes in, we've not had a highlight. But Lamar now takes a corner, Zuma hits the post, and Benzema tucks it away and we're 1-0 up. There you go. I'm talking about special and magic, and we've just had our centre-forward score from a corner. after a head down from the centre-back. So doesn't get more industrial than that, really, does it? But we're 1-0 up. Who gives a fig? Exactly. I mean, that's come off the post and then headed off the line. Benzema finishes it nicely. It's his first goal of the season. Whoop-de-doo. Hopefully that will give us the little cushion. It's going to be another corner, isn't it? There you go. This is the only highlights you're getting. I'm talking about how spectacular and creative we are. And you're only going to see us touch the ball from corners. We have had 11 shots already, though. And, I mean, we're just passing the ball around all over the place. Nearly 300 passes in this first half already. Over 75% pass completion. We're a good passing side now. No more of this lumping it forward. I don't care that we conceded a goal. We're not going to worry about any of that. We want to play good attacking football. And if I get fired doing it, I'm not bothered anymore. I've tried playing winning football and we're no good at it. The problem with us trying to play winning football is we didn't win when we were doing it. So let's just play good football and hopefully we've got the best squad in Europe, surely. If I just ask them to go out there and be special, hopefully that'll be enough. And if it's not, I'm not sure. I want to be part of a save where just having the best players and telling them to play well isn't enough. Because that blooming should be enough. Right. We're only drawing against blooming Roma. I mean, Roma are no good. As long as we don't lose them, eh? That's the important thing. Because we are playing well. We're a good team. The positivity's slowly draining out of me. The pass completion's dropping off. The number of passes is dropping off. Even possession is starting to fall away. We've not had many shots in this second half. Roma are really getting back into this game. It's time for a game changer. It's 68th minute. We have no option. We make a substitution here anyway. But Barbosa, because you lot wouldn't stop going on about him, he's not performing, so he can come off. Luan, he's going to go to playmaker, and then Lamar's going to be an attacking midfielder. Just change things around a little bit in here, and then we might bring Rashford on. Should we have a bit of Rashford? A bit of Rashford time. Stick him out here, maybe as an inside forward. There you go. That's where he was playing when he scored for us in the last game that he played. So there you go. 2 players in from the northwest of England. I don't think Luan was from there originally. Don't know about Rashford. Probably from Manchester, presumably. But yeah, well, they've arrived in Milan and they're not making a blind bit of difference, are they? That's nearly £100 million worth of player we've just brought on. Nothing's changing. Right, Benzema. Oh, we've got Iose as well. I've never learned to say his name. Don't expect me to. Get him on. I mean, look at the quality we can just throw on to change a game now. Mauri now. Luan. Mauri again. I mean, why is no one having a shot? What's happening here? I thought we were being special. George. Cross comes in. Rashford. Luan's in. Oh, I thought the 2 subs were going to combine there and I was going to look like an absolute genius. A handsome genius I would have looked like then. Never mind, eh? I'll settle for just one of them. We're not going to... I mean, it's like the Livorno game in reverse. We took ages to get back into the game there, whereas in this one, we've gone ahead early and rested on our laurels a little bit. We do need to develop a bit of a killer instinct. Again, we've brought in a lot of new players, and they're taking a little bit of time to gel our front four, I think. But at least we're not losing games. At least we're not out of touch. I mean, I don't care what Napoli and Roma do, or Sampdoria, Torino. I don't care what any of them lot do. We're level on points with Juventus. We're ahead of Inter. We're ahead of Fiorentina. So as far as I'm concerned, we're doing all right at the moment. So that's perfectly acceptable. Because we're not in the Champions League this year, we'll probably do the scheduling a little bit different. And I'm not that interested in showing you Europa League games. I mean, there'll be a few. Certainly if it starts to get interesting, the group stage, probably not so much. So we might be back with maybe Fiorentina and Bromby just so we get a Europa League game in, and then maybe disappear and play a bunch of the game offline until we get into the more business end of the season where we've got Inter and Juventus really close together there. That's an interesting time to be watching. So we'll do that probably. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the transfers. I do jest. I like the criticism. It keeps the mind sharp, and I know what I'm doing. It just probably doesn't make sense to a bystander or people who use the player search thing and can actually look for players properly. I don't do any of that, and I'll probably explain why in my introduction to the new series video that we do for FM17. I did a bit of it back in the original intro to Non-League to Legend, but you know, there's no face and no personality in my voice back then, so watch it if you can prepare yourself for that. It's not good. Anyway, enough of that waffle. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you pop a like on there for me. I do like to see us go over 200 likes for a transfer special, so you know, do your thing. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. Thank you very much for watching.